I ain't never seen nobody play the right hand like that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It's almost kind of tapping and plucking.
Yeah. Well, actually, most often I would tap.
Yeah.
What happened to me over the years is that my I tend to have a problem with warts and stuff all over my hands, and it breaks out at certain times. So I found myself not being able to play with my thumb or any of my other types of.
But you still had to play the bass, so you had to, so many people adapt. So many people adapt to. I gotta play. I can't. I don't have a right arm, but guess what? I'm still gonna play that bass. You know what I mean?
That's where I would go on those times when things weren't right, things weren't feeling good, and as you said also, when things were feeling good and great. This is where I went.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the basement. That's BASSmint. And we got a new bass player hanging out with us in the basement. Tell us your name.
Nate Young.
Nate Young, not only is he a new bass player in the basement, he came in from Austin to hang out in Detroit with his family, and they came and hung out at Detroit Bass Day 2014 yesterday. How was that for you, man?
Wonderful.
Had a blast there?
Oh yes, definitely. Inspirational at that.
That's awesome. I met you yesterday. He came up to me and he said, "You're Big Ive, ain't you?" I was like, I didn't know whether to run or it's like, I like, maybe he get me confused with my brothers. Like, I hope my brother ain't in no trouble. But he actually said some nice stuff to me, and just tell me some of the stuff you said so I can stay humble.
The fact that the basement itself has just lit a fire up under me, period.
Watching these episodes of Detroit bass players in the basement.
Yeah, Detroit, all the episodes, and just the input and all the things that everyone's contributed.
Okay, and when you finally came to the basement, this is the part I love. People watch this stuff, and then they come to the basement, and what you think when you finally got here to the basement?
I thought it was going to be huge. I was looking for, a studio type feel. The feel was wonderful, though. I mean, coming down here, man, it's at home walking in here.
Okay, awesome. And I forgot to do this. Also hanging out with us, we got a Detroit bass player, alumni. And when I call them alumni, that means they already been interviewed. I don't think we did you in the basement yet, though.
No,
we just
but I got some before you, so I'm happy. That I got from Detroit bass players yesterday.
Oh, you want some strings at the bass day? That's awesome. And he still got his notes on us. When you gonna tear those notes off? You don't know your fretboard yet?
They staying on there.
Okay.
They staying on.
Also hanging out with us is tell us your name, sir.
Anthony.
Anthony is actually a custom bass builder. He's surrounded by a couple of his basses. I noticed he was looking at that bar stool. He was thinking about how could I make that into a bass. But he hanging out. We're gonna actually do an interview with this man. Look at all his basses. Y'all wait till you see his interview and these basses that he built, man. I mean, that's just one. That's the back of another one, but they awesome. Also hanging out with us is his right hand man, a Detroit basement alumni. Tell us your name.
Darren D. Rasta Jackson.
He's also got one in his hand, Anthony custom bass, and that is a one of a kind In fact, it's like the only one in the world of that type of bass, which is, what is it again?
World's first headless acoustic bass.
The world's first headless acoustic.
Never been created.
So check out the interview we're going to do with Anthony and Darren when we do that. We haven't did it yet, but we will. So. Also hanging out with us is Nate's wife. Tell us your name.
I'm Gail Young.
And do you play bass?
No, I don't.
But you like bass, right?
I love bass.
And you know what a bass is when you hear it?
I bought that one for him.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That's how we do it, and she's from Detroit also, but they reside in Austin. Yes. They come to hang out with family and stuff, and the Detroit Bass Day. And Reggie, don't hold on to that too hard. You look like that bass belongs to you, bro.
Man, this is really unique. I mean, this is the first fretless bass that I seen with a concealed pickup. I mean, I didn't know. I thought maybe he wasn't finished with it yet when I first saw it, and he just hadn't dropped it in. You know, hadn't routed it out and dropped it in. But when he told me it was concealed, you got a gift, dog.
Talking about that man, that's another Anthony custom bass. Again, check out his interview. We're gonna talk to him about his basses. Also hanging out with us at the house is one of my new favorite bass players.
Thank you, Big
Mr. Tell us your name, sir.
Bobby Vega.
And y'all have seen him everywhere, and he looks just like he looks on his pictures, and he's he's actually as friendly as his pictures. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you look at something like, he seemed like a nice guy. You see all the clinics and stuff he did in all the other magazines. It's the same guy, man. Hang out with Mr. Bobby Vega. We're going to do an interview with him later on, too. So y'all check that out. But back to this man who came all the way from Austin to hang out with us here in the basement. That's BASSmint. How long have you been living in Austin, first of all?
Ooh, it's been about 24, 25 years now.
Did you play the bass before you moved to Austin?
Yes and no.
Okay, so how long you been? Well, I asked it like this. I should know how to ask my own questions. when did you start playing the bass, and why?
Okay, I actually started playing the bass. I think it was 79. I think it was
same year I graduated from high school.
Yeah, and it was one of those things. Group of guys in the Air Force sitting back partying, and this guy had a Hofner, one of those old Hofner type basses sitting up on his wall.
Beatles.
Yeah, one of those.
McCartney famous for that.
We were listening to Heat Wave and doing what people in the Air Force do when they're sitting back, partying and everything else. And just out of nowhere, I just looked up there and said, "Hey, I can play that bass." And Heat Wave was playing on the stereo at the time, and I picked it up, and they were playing, more or less like, little chords, not chords, but little scales that they're playing. And I snatched it off the wall and started playing.
And that was in the Air Force?
Yeah, well, I was in the Air Force at the time.
Yeah.
And from there on, I just got inspired from there.
Well, thank you for serving for our country. I appreciate that, man. Did you get to shoot anybody from an airplane?
No.
From a jet or anything?
Not at all.
Okay.
Good experience, though. The thing about that, though, is that shortly after that, 2 years after that, I ended up overseas for a little while. After that, I put the bass away for probably about 25 years. And didn't touch a bass, life issues got in the way and all those type of things. I'd always told my wife, never buy me a bass. I didn't want to get in no situation where she brings me something and I'm constantly trying to figure out how to get rid of it without her getting upset. But for my birthday, about 6 or 7 years ago, I came home and she had this for me. And I just fell in love with it.
Oh, now what kind of bass is that?
Oh, this is a PV Millennium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
4-string?
Yeah, 4-string.
Okay, and the two pickups, that's awesome. It looks.
In fact, I saw someone else on an interview, female.
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
That's who it was.
She was supposed to be here tonight.
I had an opportunity to actually hear my bass outside of myself, and it was wonderful.
She had hers was called the Jolly Rancher.
Oh, okay.
Because it was kind of purplish and stuff like that.
That was it.
And you got to meet her yesterday, right?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome. Well, man, musically, what you up to and where you going with it?
Musically, right now, I'm just trying to feel my way through.
Okay.
That's more or less been my learning experience is playing what I feel and bringing that out.
You play with anybody?
No. In fact, I haven't had any lessons anywhere. I haven't played with anyone. It's just myself playing and getting inspired by the interviews and stuff I've seen on YouTube from you guys, and just taking in what's been put out there.
That's awesome. Do you want to play with anybody maybe in the future?
Possibly, but presently just playing the bass itself, learning as much as I can learn about it, and feeling myself through it is about all I'm looking for right now.
Okay, good. Now, if we wanted to contact you, we might be in Austin looking for a bass player. How could we get a hold of you? Is it possible?
As of my birthday a couple of weeks ago, I'm on Facebook.
Oh, so you one of those people just not getting on there?
Turn the corner.
I don't blame you. I got all my best friends. They all hate the internet for some reason. All my best friends, you can't get them on there.
They're afraid of the hype.
Exactly.
Yeah. In fact, what inspired me to hurry up and get it is I saw an interview in here. And I think it was a couple of people who didn't have any means of being contacted.
Okay.
And I didn't want to be that person up here. So
wow.
Sure I got it.
Wow. So just because of this show right here, these episodes, he got a Facebook page. That's awesome, man. So, and how could we get you if we wanted you to play bass with us?
YBASS Austin on Facebook.
YBASS Austin on Facebook. That is awesome, man. I ain't want to keep you, man. So if you could just play something and we'll let you go on those conditions only.
Let's see.
All right, that's awesome. See what happened when you learn how to play the bass by yourself? You play it a different way. That's awesome, man.